In today's video, I'm doing a really easy silhouette painting. I'm going to start off by doing my background. I have a variety of colors, including some white, beige, yellow, and then some green and 2 shades of brown. I'm going to do my background by swiping. I have just a small bit of silicone in my white paint, and then the rest of my colors are just mixed with Floetrol and water. And my swipe is going to just be my background for my silhouette that I'm going to paint on top. I'm just adding a small base coat of the white so that I can tilt my other colors a little bit after I swipe them. So I'm kind of going for the earthy tones towards the bottom, and then the yellows towards the top for a sky. And then I ended up leaving some white negative space just to give it a little bit of a different feel. And then I also have just my damp paper towel that I'm going to use for my swipes. And I'm just taking each color and just randomly pouring them down. I don't want huge blocks of one color kind of taking over. I ended up taking my paper towel and ripping it up into smaller pieces so that I could swipe in different directions and with different sizes of paper to get different designs all throughout my piece. I also tilted to just change up my design a little bit and to get some of that paint off the canvas. And you could use whatever colors you want for this. I ended up, once it was all dry, I wasn't a huge fan of the green and the earthy tones, so I ended up covering those up a little bit, but I really like the yellows, especially that dark yellow for my sky, and I could see using that in some other backgrounds. It's such a pretty color. So once I'm all done swiping and just messing around with my painting until it's kind of the style that I want it to be, I'm just going to let this dry for a day, maybe 2, depending on if it's still wet, and then I will start adding my silhouette shape. So for my silhouette, I ended up using just an elephant that I had printed out. I cut it out and then traced it on my canvas and then just doodled some trees that I'm also going to paint. And I have an acrylic paint pen that I'm going to try out for the elephant and the trees. And then I also have a filbert brush and some fluid acrylic black paint to fill in the trees. The acrylic paint pen worked well, especially to get the detail for my elephant. I think if I had tried using a paintbrush, I would not have had a good result like this. So the paint pens are pretty cheap. I just got mine off of Amazon and I got a 12-pack, so I have a bunch of different colors that I can use for other paintings or other designs. And the tip is pretty fine, so it'll work well. So I just traced out my elephant and then started tracing out the tree trunks. I ended up using the paint pen to fill in the elephant, and then I actually had the paint cracked a little bit, so I don't know if my paint underneath still had too much moisture, but then I filled in the elephant with a little bit of my other black paint too. I didn't really like my earthy tone area, so I ended up just gently adding some black to it and kind of fading out those colors underneath. So the bottom ended up being really, really dark, but I think I like the black bottom and the yellow on top instead of the earthy tones. And so if I do a silhouette piece like this again, I may do some darker black areas to contrast against those really bright sky colors. And then for the leaves on the tree, you can see I just put a little bit of paint on my brush and just started dabbing it, and that created a really awesome pattern. So this is a really simple technique to create some different style trees and leaves. And if you were doing this in greens, you could definitely pick some different shades of greens to get some highlights from the sunlight and just layer those colors really, really nicely. I just went through and used my paint pen to add some more branches. Tracing my trees out looked a little weird. I think once I actually filled them in and painted them and then just free-handed some of my branches, looked a little bit better for this style of tree. Overall, this was really, really fun. I haven't done just a painted silhouette like this in a while. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, or if you have ideas for other silhouettes or things that you would like me to try painting. Some of my painting skills aren't the best, but I can always get some stencils and trace some things out so that I get a good design like I did with my elephant. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you liked it. And if you subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. I do put out 3 videos a week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching today.